Well, good evening, everybody. This is Texas Biker Radio number 446. My name is Mel Popeye Moss. I am your co-host along with OG each and every week on this podcast at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time each Tuesday. And if my voice is weak, bear with me. Bear with me. And, as always, we have had to make some changes. I say as always, it's not always, but we've had to make some changes because of the weather here in the DFW area of Texas. And so we've had to make some adjustments. OG is not here tonight. I am podcasting from my home, inside my home. And as we experimented the other night, I was doing it on this laptop. And so, and I keep getting warnings that there's not enough bit rates on this thing, and there may be interruptions. And, I do need you to tell me if we are experiencing interruptions and the sound is okay. But we will continue on as if everything is working fine. And so you guys, like I said, if something happens here, you need to let me know because I don't see it on this end. So let's get right into it. What I wanted to talk to you about tonight, not only about the weather and the fact that you probably heard me say on one of the Facebook channels that this weather has exposed the vulnerabilities, and I'm sorry for my speech. My story with the cancer and stuff, but the emphasis that has been put on unreliable energy, which is wind and solar. It is an unreliable energy source. So we spent too much money, too much time, too much energy on these, what everybody said was sustainable energy sources. They are not. We've been sold a bill of good. There's nothing better than a coal-powered, a gas-powered, a nuclear-powered, a water-powered, such as a dam. There's nothing better than that. Those are reliable energy sources, not wind, not solar. And you've heard me many times say that solar and wind is a lot of BS, is what it is. I've had experience with it. And you probably heard me talk about that. The wind and solar I had on my sailboat, my 45-foot sailboat. As I've never had to go a day that I did not have to top off the batteries with that wonderful little diesel-powered generator. And that thing was like magic. Like magic is what it was. And so, you know my point about this. We've got to now expose this for what it is. And so we'll work at it. I know Constitutional Warriors, that page, they will work at it. And so will others. But, the other thing I wanted to get into, as you've seen, Trump's lawyers who did a great job. And they weren't prepared for what hit them on that first day. They were not prepared for it. They weren't prepared for these touchy-feely videos that the Democrats were going to show. But also, in the days that followed, they were able to expose the fact that those videos were nothing more than doctored evidence. Doctored evidence. Now, in any court of law, would have thrown that evidence out in any other place other than what was going on in the House, the Senate floor. Absolutely incredible. As a kangaroo court, it was doctored evidence. It was there was no due process. But let me point this out, and this is where I want to go with this. We have a case down in Milam County. A 24-year Army veteran who's a Purple Heart recipient, 2 Bronze Stars, and like I said, 24 years in the Army with good conduct. A stellar military background. And in my book, he can be in any damn club he wants to be, because he's been to every hellhole this country has sent our troops to in his 24 years of service. That would include, the likes of Afghanistan, Kosovo, other places, Panama, places where our troops had been sent to defend our country. Now, what we have here in that court, and it's in my view, it's the same thing as we see playing out in Washington, D.C. Doctored evidence. And let me tell you why I think that is. The reason I think that is, you have a policeman sometimes some law enforcement officer put him into a gang database. Now, why? It may have been just because he was at an event. It may have been because of what he was wearing. It may be because of what club he belongs to. But you are put into these databases with no due process. Matter of fact, you don't even know you're in it till something happens. And in this case, he was going down the highway. The law officer said he was speeding, which he did not write him a ticket for. But instead, he wrote him up for criminal carry. And that's what he's on trial for, even though hasn't been convicted of any crimes, even though there was no proof that his club was involved in any crimes. And to me, this is doctored evidence, because they're using this to drag this on and on and on. And I think to the point it's almost 3 years into it. And now just last year we found out there's conflicting laws on whether he should have been jailed for criminal carry. Because there is no proof that he is a criminal. And yet they're using this evidence. As a matter of fact, this is the evidence that they're using against him. When a law officer receives the report that he's in a criminal gang database, but the criminal gang database, that report also says it does not identify him as a criminal gang member. Now, go how you figure all this out. And also, on in the criminal gang database, they say it's not to be used in a court of law. Yet that's what's happening. That's what's happening. It's not only happening in Washington, D.C., it's happening in our courts across Texas every day, where they doctor evidence. And some of the worst culprits of this is the FBI, which we've seen at a national level. which is our state, our DPS, Department of Public Safety, Highway Patrol, whatever you want to call them, they are the worst at framing people. That's the only way I can put it. Especially when there is no due process, when there is no probable cause. That young man should have been issued a speeding ticket, if that's what he was doing, and sent on his way. Not be jailed and not end up in court for the better part of 3 years. And it goes on and on and on. It's like they're trying to inflict as much pain as they can because he's in a motorcycle club. And the gang database assessment, the report that they put out each year, or each every 2 year, whatever it is, of gangs and motorcycle gangs and that kind of stuff. I mean, to turn a motorcycle club into a street gang is really a far stretch, because motorcycle clubs, no matter which one you're talking about, even 1%. And that's who's in those gang databases. It's really they really have to stretch it really hard to make them into a street gang. But yet we know there are innocent people that are in these databases that have committed no crimes. There are clubs that that they're not a criminal organization at all. And these clubs are like law enforcement itself. We're a reflection of the rest of our society. There's good and bad everywhere. And the lure of quick money affects everybody, even law enforcement, because they're guilty of more of the type crimes they describe motorcycle clubs as being guilty of than all of the motorcycle clubs put together. And that's the truth of it. That's the truth of it. And I just wanted to go over this again tonight with you and tell the public out there that what they're seeing playing out on a national level and the things that are happening to Donald Trump has been happening for quite some time. And like in the Senate, our politicians up there, the people we now see as despots, law enforcement is in the same house with them. They can speak out of both sides of their mouths at any time. They can be part of the gang up there. And as we've seen, law enforcement can be friends or foes. They can switch hats really quick. Just like our politicians do. They switch hats really quick. But now they've all been exposed. Everybody's been exposed. The people in Washington, D.C., we now know who all the culprits are. Republican and Democrat. We all know who they are. And it'll filter down as we find out which law enforcement agencies are going to back them up. We already know the FBI is a piece of crap. We already know that most of these federal agencies, CIA, everything like that, they're a piece of crap. The Department of Justice, a piece of crap. The list runs on and on and on. And all your federal workers, it is loaded with these type people. They are ready to throw our country under the bus. And will law enforcement help them? You damn right they will. So it is up to us, we the people, to put people in power it's going to be all about us and not about them. Because as we've seen, they've got all these schemes going on to enrich themselves. The people that are well-connected, the rich and the well-connected. And I would put politicians in the well-connected category. But many of them, you can now put them in the rich category because they've been siphoning off public funds for a very long time. A very long time. And I don't care if Facebook, YouTube, all of them want to run fact checks on this. All they got to do is do some honest day's work in reporting. Because none of this has been investigated like it should be. They can get away with anything they want. And they have. And for the most part, we stood by and let it happen. And we stood by and re-elected them again and again and again and allowed them to collude with each other, Republicans and Democrats, just as they're doing today with Mitch McConnell and that little bunch that runs around with him that threw Donald Trump under the bus after using him to get reelected. That's what they did. Donald Trump now knows who, and we do also, now know who the enemies are. We now know it. And so, we've got a lot of work ahead. But Donald Trump also put out a message today that he is coming back. You saw this weekend where he went out there and, drove by the people that were holding a rally there in Florida. And he drove by waving at everybody. And then later on, he posted, hey, we're gonna wait a little while and then we're coming back. What they're doing is they're finding out who all these despots are, and they've already exposed themselves. And they think they've got this made. They think they've got it licked. They think they don't have to respond to us. They can quiet us. They can tell us, hey, we're coming after you. That's basically what they're saying to us. We're coming after you. We're gonna shut you down, and we're gonna take your Second Amendment away that you think is just so great. We're gonna take your First Amendment rights away, no matter what you think. We're gonna silence you, and they're all working that direction. Let me tell you, it's not gonna work. We're finding other platforms, other things we can do to get the word out. I mean, if it gets down to smoke signals, that's what it gets down to. If it gets down to private meetings face-to-face, that's what it takes. We're just going to do what it takes. And so we're going to pay close attention to these local elections. And, that's where George Soros put his money. That's where he put his money. So everybody needs to man up, quit worrying about the left and what they're doing, what they're saying about us. We can't worry about it. They're going to say what they're going to say. We can't worry about that. We can't let that bother us. We've got work to do. And in the coming weeks and months, we're going to take our country back, regardless of what they say. And we're going to somehow straighten these courts out. It's got to be done. Anybody that's running for office from here on out, if they're not about the Constitution, if they're not about America first, they're a no-go. And we got to do some real digging on anybody that's running for office. Some real digging. But, hey, it's always fun, everybody. We got to have a good time while we're doing this. And you know, the other side is just all doom and gloom. You turn on any news channel, it's doom and gloom. And just like a lot of times, I think the weather channels and all that kind of stuff that, you know, when they come on and they're reporting the weather to you, they're designing that to have you stay tuned. Because many times the weather is a guessing game. Of course, they got the radar, they got the technology and stuff, but still a lot of times they miss it. They really do. And it's overhyped. But then sometimes it's underhyped. So you gotta take these people and do your own due diligence. Know that these people that are coming into your living room every night are not your friends. They're there to send you a message. They're there to manipulate you, either into watching or either in some political direction. That's what they're there for. Because everything now is about politics, even the weather. All of it is. But we are going to make it happen, brothers and sisters. We're going to make it happen. And let me say hi to some people on the chat line. Hello, Randy Russell, Napa, Shovelhead, 81 Shovelhead, Chuck Bayless. How are you doing, buddy? Agreed. Oh, okay, that's okay. Let's see. How are you guys doing this evening? And I guess, the settings I got this thing on, they told me it was the stream would be interrupted. I don't know whether it has been or not. But, hey, I'll be glad to get back in the studio. We can do more in the studio than we can here off of this makeshift studio I've got here in my home. And so, yeah, I'll be glad to get back in it. And, of course, OG and I will be on the road this weekend. And maybe we can come online while we're on the road if we have good internet wherever we go to Gulfport. And maybe we can do a report from there on what's going on with the National Council of Clubs. It's going to be interesting to say the least. I was supposed to have gone to it last year, but I was having cancer surgery. And so I think most everybody knows my story. I've had cancer 4 times, and I'm still here. So the Lord has more work for me to do. And it's going to be all about the political reality we have going on now. Yeah, we can do the biker stuff. We can do our legislative stuff and the national stuff at the same time. And so, yeah, hey, you guys, we are staying warm. I did try the pot thing where you turn a pot, get one of these pots and you put candles underneath it, and then you're supposed to heat up nice and heat up the room. Well, we tried that, and so far it's a big fail. But our electricity's been on the whole time. We live pretty close to a hospital, so that means the chances of our electricity going out is in one of these rolling blackouts is low, because we do live next to a hospital. And so, yeah, and I did fall down twice today in the ice. I said, well, at least I didn't fall forward like I did in Arizona. Oh yeah, where I went face first right into the ground, and I was banged up pretty good, even though we had to do a new chapter ceremony that night, and with my face all plowed up. But hey, look, we made it. It's fine. Even made it, even though I fell twice today. And so, it's all good, everybody. It's all good. It's out playing in the snow. And ice. Let me see. Man, we you know what? We've had such a blessing here. And I want to say this again because it helped, the weather helped expose the vulnerability of these windmills and these solar panels. And so we've got to spread the word, everybody. Spread the word. And also these, like I said, the thing that's going on in Milam County, as soon as the weather clears up, we're probably going to be back down there in another protest. Yeah, we're not afraid of anybody hijacking our protests. We're not afraid of that. We know how to handle that. Matter of fact, is a guy in Florida just he described how they kept that from happening there this last weekend, and he did basically the same thing we had been doing for years. And you probably heard me say in one of the other broadcasts how we did that is we let law enforcement know that we're coming. We let them know that we're a peaceful group. We let them know that somebody may try and cause some problems. We let them know. We would point them out. And so, anybody would have showed up that would want to cause us a problem, whether it be law enforcement or whoever, we were ready to point them out and take care of it. And the law officers that were there knew what to do. And we did that every time. And we had a peaceful rally every time. We never had a problem. Have I had that? Have people try to interfere with a rally? You bet I did. When I was in the Tea Party president, when we had a rally out here that had 17,000 people. Yeah, we had people that come and tried to disrupt it. People came and tried to infiltrate. And in each case, we went out and handled it. And yes, the media was there ready to jump on it. They were there ready to take part in the action that they were going to try and do against us. But we were able to thwart all of that. And so, yeah, we're ready for that kind of crap. And our side has to be ready for that. Has to be that. Whether you're at a rally to try and point out the injustices against bikers, or whether you're out there in a rally in support of Trump. And really, here on our next broadcast in the studio, when Mel and I get back from Gulfport, we'll be talking about all that. And we'll be hopefully we'll be talking about successes in this state legislation session that's still going on now in Texas. And yeah, you guys, hey, I hear the recall of Newsom out in California is getting there, and that's fixing to happen. That's fixing to happen. And so, and there's some other good news going on with these people that are going to be resigning soon. So let's everybody watch for it. It's out there. There are things that are happening. Is it something big? I have no clue. But there are things happening. The pendulum will swing the other direction. This year, it will swing the other direction. And be ready to join in, everybody. Be ready. And you guys up in Michigan and other places, I know you're probably laughing at us about the weather, but you know, this weather we're having is happens about once every 30 years. That's the last time we had weather like this, 30 years ago. And we've had mild winters year after year after year. And now we're paying the price. We're paying the price. And so, yeah. Okay, Napa, you're saying they got 1.5 million signatures necessary to force the election. There you go. There you go. Oh, and Cuomo, too. He's being exposed also, everybody. Oh, yeah. There's investigations going on, and I do believe that Cuomo eventually is going to get his. He's going to get his, because the truth is going to come out. The truth is going to come out. And the truth is going to come out about Dr. Fauci and all that mess that's going on. And there's a video that's circling around right now. If that's true, there's some people within the what would it be called, the virology community, like Dr. Fauci. There's a bunch of them. If that video is true, there's a whole bunch of them that need to be in prison right now. Right now. And I will capture that video tomorrow, and I will put it out there for all to see. And, you know, I'm sure that, you know, Facebook and the likes of everybody else is going to say, well, you know, they're going to come back with some fact checker out of France or someplace like that. And, you know, going to say, oh, this isn't true, this isn't true. But do you have a right to hear it? Yes, you do. You have a right to know what these people are saying? Yes, you do. And there's some heavy accusations. Heavy accusations. And so watch for it tomorrow. If they won't let me put it up on Facebook, it will be on MeWe, and it will be on our other platforms. And yes, I'll even get it up on Rumble. We did not record this video tonight because I'm doing it from a laptop. I didn't want to disrupt the stream. And so, yeah. But, you know, I'll, as soon as this is posted, I'll try and capture it using this computer. And so, you know, I hope you guys, you know, like and share our videos. I know I'm doing this off the top of my head tonight. I'm not, there's no script, no investigations, no nothing, just me talking to you is what it is. And so, yeah, Fauci, I think, is a mess, you guys. He's a mess, and he's all about having his names on these patents. And, you know, he is the highest paid federal employee that there is. And I didn't think they were hired by I thought they were a separate entity, but maybe not. We'll have to investigate that too. But with that, everybody, stay warm no matter where you're at, whether you're in Texas, whether you're in Tennessee, whether you're in Arizona, wherever you're at. Stay warm, stay safe, and know that we're working for you. And we're all going to be working for the country going forward. We're all going to be working for our community, whether you're in the biker community or whether you're just, the average Joe. Whether you're an assembly line worker, whether you're working in the steel mills, the pipelines, wherever, know that we're all about putting you first. You first. Just as Donald Trump said, America first. That's where we're at, guys. And you got to stand up, whether it's against the politicians, whether it's against your union, no matter who it is that's getting in the way of this country and everybody having a successful life. That's what we want. Everybody to be a success. And do the best you can with what you've got. You can't ask for any better than that. With that, everybody, have a great evening. Ride safe, everybody. Ride safe when it's okay to do so. Bye-bye.